Hi there. I've just had a bath, got my hair all washed for my appearance on screen. There's a lot of hair here. I have exceptionally thick hair. Makes a little bit of a problem because I also have a bad shoulder, so washing it can be a problem, getting the soap out and all that. Okay, so I live in southern Illinois, right across from St. Louis. As a matter of fact, the Metrolink train here goes into St. Louis and out the other side, sort of. It branches, and part of it goes to the airport, to the, I think, not sure the exact name for it now. It used to be called Lambert St. Louis International or some excessive wordage like that. But anyway, so I'm close to St. Louis. And we have started getting the clouds from the hurricane. We had just a really small sprinkle earlier, but I don't think it had much to do with the hurricane. So I have something like that is really getting to me, and I'm going to talk about it. And it's about science and scientists, but really not, because it's something that when I was in college was in the arts and sciences building, and I have real bias about that because my degree is Bachelor of Science, not Bachelor of Arts. So I can get really nasty about that when I've had too much wine. But I haven't had too much wine, so I'm going to try to be reasonably nice. I have a great deal of respect for science. I have respect for people who like to look at things like archaeology and paleontology and things like that are not experimental sciences in themselves. Some things have been developed that they can take things to labs where people can do things for them. But here's the thing. When I was young and thinking about what I was going to do, my main goal was find a job so I could buy my own food, pay for a place to live, just basically pay for myself to be a living, independent adult. There were things I was interested in. Every book in the library. But I have been seeing, not just recently, people going into areas of study that nobody actually is going to hire them to do, except a grant from the government to them, to a school, to go and look at something if they can convince somebody that it's worth looking at. But it's not something commercial. I mean, people there are some commercial archaeologists because of government requirements that archaeologists be hired. So it's one step removed from actually being paid by a grant from a National Science Foundation or whatever it is these days. Yeah, so here's the thing, okay? I have in the last few weeks and so on seen two things developing. One is don't move rocks. Get really, really upset about people moving rocks in streams and along the shore. Now there's a thing of people doing art by going to the shore and stacking rocks in various shapes. And then other people got really upset with them because, well, there was a photographer that just got really, really upset and started calling people all sorts of names on Twitter for moving rocks because he wanted to take pictures of things the way they were. And then other people were getting upset because, oh, you move the rock, these are micro environments, and you move a rock and you ruin a micro environment and you destroy the world. Okay, now I want to make real clear here. This started out with don't move rocks in national parks. Don't tip big rock formations over. Some things that I think people can agree on are real idiot things to do. Um, Going down to the seashore and moving a few rocks around is not the same thing as going to a national park and rearranging things. Um, Going down to a creek and moving a couple of rocks around. Okay, oh, you make this dam, and then things that are supposed to be sheltering behind it, and then the dam gets washed out, and then that environment changes. Okay, I got to Ithaca right after Hurricane Agnes, 1972, went through the remains of Hurricane Agnes and poured water on, poured and poured and poured water, and washed through the gorges and the old stone paths that had been made, I think, in the Conservation Corps projects during the Depression. They were washed out. Big parts of them were washed out. There's a lot of change in the gorges. So don't tell me not to move a rock, please. I mean, some of this has just really, really got me to a point where I'm going to just start tying knots in things. And the other one is now picking up arrowheads and things. Okay, again, not talking about national parks or state parks or any kind of declared land. But I have this open in front of me here. Here's a quote. So I went to Michael's and stumbled upon a looting display box. And that's because they have a box where a child can display. See that? That's the thing. That's what they say. Okay, so where a child can display things they've collected. I have always collected things. I've collected fish jaw bones on the edge of the lake. I've collected interesting looking rocks. Collected buttons. No, I haven't been cutting them off of people's clothes. No, I didn't do that. Okay, so again, we're the quotes that were on that tweet. That it's a terrible thing for kids to go outside and pick things up, and what they should do. And this is not literal, but it's almost literal. If you want your kids to take an interest in these things, bring them to a museum, pay admission to support the museum, and you can look at what we've picked up and what we think you should see. But you can't go out and pick it up yourself. Okay, we had this whole tiny home thing, stick people in little tiny boxes, stick your cat in a little tiny box, stick yourself in a little tiny box. Don't let your kids go outside. Don't let your kids get dirty. Don't let your kids pick up a rock and take it home. And here we have this really big hurricane, and it's going to move rocks all over the place. And it's going to wash out lots and lots of arrowheads around here, because this is the area of the Mississippian culture all around Cahokia, where, these people were living and dropping stuff all over the place for a long, long time. You're kind of hard-pressed sometimes to not trip over an arrowhead, basically. Not where I'm sitting right now, but, going out in the fields, walking around plowed fields and washed out creeks. So, where am I going with this? I have just kind of gone from reasonable and rational to want to start hangouts and things. People, you do not have, whoever you are, who think you archaeologists, you have a right to the entire heritage of the world. You and only you can decide what can be taken, where it can be put. It can be put in your museum so you can write papers about it. Oh, but I'm not getting anything from it. Oh, yeah? You're not getting anything from it. You're writing a paper. You're going to get tenure. You're going to get paid. Okay? So, yeah, you're getting something from it. It's not altruistic that you want drawers and drawers and drawers full of the same thing, but nobody else can take any. Yeah. You know, I really should have had some wine because having a drunken rant would be better if I was drunk. Okay, I'll probably post this and you can make of it what you will. Bye-bye.